Hi, in this video I'm going to give you an update on how to maintain these microblasters that we have started selling. Sold quite a lot of units now, really good feedback, but like all these ones you can get some blockages, and we just want to show you how to maintain and look after them. And also one of the reasons we picked these Sandblasters is they're really quite easy to maintain. You can clear them, you can remove the parts, and we can get new parts, so I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so just one thing to note is that in your box when you buy one of the units it comes with a couple of tools. So you have this instrument here which is for clearing it, so it's worth keeping that, and also this nut which we'll use to break down the nozzle and clear that if there's a problem there. And finally there's some spare O-rings which will perish over time and might need changing, although it's quite rare to be honest. Okay, so let's say you've got your Sandblaster and it's not performing as it should. We're just going to go through and diagnose what the problem is. So first thing is to check that the hose is on correctly and that the hose is working, so that it's not your chair rather than the microblaster itself. So just show you this. It's really important that you remove these carefully. We've had a couple of units damaged where people have really tried to twist and it's broken around here, or try to pull them off. So you have to completely release the nut for it to remove. So just like this to release, get it all the way, and then it will just pull away. Okay. If you still have some threads left and you're pulling, you'll damage the unit. So next we're going to just check that the hose is working correctly. The air will come out of here and the water comes out of one of these ones here. So I've put those on. Just test it. You can see we've got a trickle of water and the air's coming out, so the hose is working correctly. So the next thing to do is to connect it. Okay, so we're just going to line it up, place it in securely, bring the thread over, and then tighten it all the way. Okay, so now we can test if there's air and water coming through the unit itself. So to do this, I'm just going to take the sand off for a moment. And then I'm going to just press, make sure the water's on. And I'm just going to press the foot pedal down, but not engage the button here. Just press the foot pedal down and you'll see that the water is coming through. And you can set how much of your water stream you want with your chair unit. Okay, if that's not coming through properly, then there's probably a problem with the O-ring or seal around here or here with the nozzle. And we'll talk you through that in a moment. Okay, so we'll turn the water off now and we'll just check if the air's coming through. So we're going to press the foot pedal down and then we're going to engage here with this button and we should see the air is coming out the bottom. Okay, if the air isn't coming out of here clearly, so it's quite rare that it isn't, it shouldn't really block this bit, then you can put the cleaning instrument into the holes where the air comes out and give it a good clean. And it's always best to do this cleaning with the air pressure on, so it could dislodge any sand that's been caught here, and then that's done. Okay, so the next check is to check the sand's coming through correctly and check the nozzle. So we're going to put the sand jar back on. Just incidentally, if you're finding you're getting a little too much sand out, I find if it's very, very full, a lot of sand does come out. So I tend to operate with my sand around 60% to kind of 40%, and then I'll top up again. It tends to work best that way. Okay, so let's go ahead and check if the sand's coming out. So we can turn the water off for a moment, depress the foot pedal, and then I'm going to press the button here to engage the sand. And I can see the sand coming out, but if you're struggling, you could use something like a penny or anything metal and check that the sand's coming away. Put the water on and we can check it again like that. So that's functioning fine. If it isn't, then the blockage is either going to be here, the connection to the nozzle, or the nozzle itself. So let's just have a look at how we can check and repair there. Okay. So to remove the nozzle, we're going to go ahead and just unscrew here. And the nozzle can get blocked with sand if it's filled with sand when it goes into the autoclave. So this is how you remove it. You twist off, and again, take it all the way off before you pull. because if you try and wrench it or twist this part here when it's connected, then you'll just break the unit. So all the way off, and then you can gently pull it out. And it should be quite a snug fit because there's a couple of O-rings holding the seal. Here. So if the O-rings are perished, you can change them. There's some that come with the kit, and that's the part here. Also, I'll just show you here that when you get one, when you finish doing your sandblasting before you autoclave this, it's really good to have that cleared of air. And I found the best way of doing this actually is just to get a 3-in-1 tip, just blow the air through, and that will just make sure it's definitely cleared before it goes into the autoclave, because if it goes in the autoclave, you can bake the sand in inside here. And also, that is a good way of just clearing the whole thing. And if you've got a blockage in the head here, that might just clear it. Okay, so we could check that if there's a blockage, it could be coming from in here. So there's the water hull, which is the smaller part, and the air comes out the middle. So it's fairly unlikely, but you can just go ahead and test the air and sand here. You can see that's coming out fine. And put the water on. You can see the water's coming out fine as well. So then we assume it's the head, so we could try putting that on again, check the O-rings, make sure it's been secured properly. And if not, then the blockage is probably in the nozzle in this part here. So we can go ahead and disassemble that. So we use this little key, it sits on nicely. What I would say is if sometimes you feel the water's coming out the sides or it's not coming through properly, normally it's the seal to here, and you might just need to tighten that a little bit. It comes loose over time, and the O-ring that seals it can sort of not be sealing properly. Anyway, wheel goes on, and we turn, and we can remove the whole nozzle part. So sometimes it comes out in one, sometimes it comes out two. There's two parts. You've got the nozzle part here, which tends not to get broken. It's got a little O-ring there that might perish, so you can change that. And then you've got the sort of the nozzle itself. So this is got a little O-ring holding it in, so you just pull that there carefully, and it will come away. Okay. And this can just be cleaned very easily with the cleaning tool. Just clean through, and you can check the O-ring is not perished as well. Then you have the unit here that will have no nozzle in, and I guess this is even a better time to clear it because the air can get through, and that should clean any debris that might be stuck in that part. But when you look, that's really quite a wide channel. It's unlikely. It's much more likely that the blockage is in here. So let's go ahead and push that back in. Just securely press it in. Put the tip on. Okay, and then do tighten this quite well. Normally if the water isn't quite right, it's because this seal's not correct. So tighten that up, and then we can reattach. So to reattach, I like to have the tightener quite a long way away because I want to make sure I've inserted it properly first. So just line it up and press in. Then we tighten. And if that's not pressed in quite right, then again, the water might not be coming out properly. It tends to be the water for that bit because that's quite a fine tube. That goes on. And then we can go ahead and just test the unit all over again. Let's do the water first. So the water's on. Is it coming out as it should? Yes. Let's take the water off. Is the sand coming out as it should? That's fine. And then we'll do them together. And the unit's working as it should do. Hope that helps you to maintain these. We can sell more of the nozzles. We've got more O-rings we can get to you. Yeah, it's quite an easy system to maintain. You know, like all of these things, if there's sand that gets baked in the autoclave, they will block, but you generally can clear them in this unit, which you can't always with others.